World's most expensive playground is currently on sale, but nobody is buying. In a city where five-star suites usually command thousands of dollars, rooms are now sitting empty for less than the price of a budget meal.
What if one of the world's most iconic luxury destinations is starting to lose its shine? For years, this city has been sold as the ultimate dream destination. Luxury everywhere, record-breaking attractions, a place where everything feels bigger, brighter, and almost unreal. But recently, a different kind of conversation has started to take over. Travel forums, comment sections, and video reviews are filling up with a new tone. Not excited, but hesitation. Some visitors are quietly saying the experience feels different. Others are openly questioning whether it's still worth the cost. And a few are even making bold statements like they might not return again. Now pause for a second. How does a city known for setting global standards suddenly face this kind of reaction? Is something actually going wrong behind the scenes? Or are we witnessing a shift that most people are misinterpreting? Because here's where things get even more interesting. At the exact same time these conversations are growing louder, Dubai is still attracting millions of visitors, launching massive projects, and positioning itself as one of the most powerful tourism hubs in the world. So, which version is true? A city losing its appeal? Or a city evolving faster than people expected? And if perceptions are changing, what's really driving it? Is it the rising costs? The overwhelming scale? Global economic pressure? Or something deeper that isn't being talked about enough? This video is based on trends, reports, and public discussions, and is meant purely for educational and analytical purposes. By the end of this breakdown, you'll understand not just what's being said about Dubai, but what's actually happening beneath the surface. And the reality might surprise you. So let's start with what people are actually seeing online, because that is where this entire conversation begins. Over the past year, there has been a noticeable shift. Not everywhere and not from everyone, but enough to make people pay attention. If you scroll through travel videos, forums, or comment sections, you will start to notice a pattern. Some visitors say their trip felt more expensive than they expected. Others mention that certain places felt overcrowded, especially during busy seasons. And some compare Dubai with other destinations, saying they found similar experiences for less money. Here are some of the things people are saying. It looks incredible, but it did not feel as special as before. Everything feels more expensive now. Popular places are too crowded. Other countries offer better value for the same kind of trip. Now here is something very important to understand. These are personal experiences, not universal facts. Not every visitor feels this way. In fact, many people still describe Dubai as one of the most impressive cities in the world. But when similar opinions keep appearing again and again, they start to shape a bigger narrative. And that narrative spreads fast. This is how perception works today. A few strong opinions can quickly turn into a global conversation. But now we need to ask a deeper question. Are these real problems, or just changing expectations? Because what people feel and what the data actually shows are not always the same. And that is exactly what we are going to explore next. So now let's move away from opinions for a moment and look at what the data actually tells us. Because this is where things start to get surprising. Despite all the online discussions, Dubai is still attracting millions of visitors every single year. In fact, recent tourism reports show that the city continues to perform strongly compared to many global destinations. Hotels in key areas are still seeing high occupancy rates. Luxury resorts remain in demand, and major attractions continue to receive heavy foot traffic, especially during peak seasons. So this creates an interesting situation. On one side, you have growing online criticism. On the other side, you have numbers that remain stable, and in some cases, even growing. This does not look like a collapse. If tourists were truly leaving in large numbers, we would expect to see a sharp drop in visitor data. But that is not what the current trends show. Instead, what we are seeing is something more subtle. A shift in who is visiting, how they are spending, and what they expect from the experience. For example, higher-income travelers are still choosing Dubai for its luxury offerings. At the same time, budget-conscious tourists are becoming more selective or exploring alternative destinations. This creates a gap in perception. Some people feel priced out, while others are still fully engaged in the experience. And that difference matters, because it explains why the online narrative feels negative, even when the overall system is still functioning. So the real question is no longer, are tourists coming or not? The better question is, who is coming? And who is starting to look elsewhere? So now we come to one of the biggest reasons behind these changing perceptions: cost. And for many travelers, this is where the experience starts to feel different. Over the past few years, Dubai has become more expensive, not just in one area, but across almost everything. Hotels, food, transport, and entertainment have all seen price increases, especially during busy seasons. Now, for some people, this is not surprising. Dubai has always been known for luxury, but here is what has changed. It is no longer just luxury. It now feels premium at every level. Even options that used to feel mid-range are now priced higher than many visitors expect. Let's break this down simply. What many tourists are noticing: hotel prices rise quickly during peak months. Dining costs are higher, even in casual places. Experiences and attractions feel more premium-focused, and small extra charges add up faster than expected. For travelers coming from Europe or North America, this is happening at a time when inflation is already affecting their daily lives. So when they arrive in Dubai, the total cost feels heavier than before. And this changes how people think about their trip. Some start asking a simple question: is the experience worth the price? Or could they find something similar somewhere else for less money? This is where comparison begins. Places in Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, and other parts of the Middle East are now offering strong travel experiences at a lower overall cost. So for mid-range travelers, Dubai can start to feel less accessible. But at the same time, something else is happening. High-income visitors are still coming. Luxury travelers are still spending, and premium experiences are still growing. So this is not a simple decline. This is a shift in who the city is attracting. When a destination becomes more exclusive, it naturally attracts a different type of visitor. Some people feel pushed out, others feel more drawn in. And that difference creates mixed opinions online. But cost is only one part of the story, because even for people who can afford it, there is another factor that is starting to affect the experience, and it has nothing to do with money. But even for people who can afford the experience, there is another factor that is starting to shape how they feel, and it is not about money. It is about how the experience feels over time. Dubai is known for doing things on a massive scale: the tallest buildings, the biggest malls, the most ambitious attractions. And for many first-time visitors, this feels exciting and unforgettable. But after a while, something begins to change. When everything feels extreme, it can start to feel normal. And when that happens, the sense of surprise becomes weaker. Some returning visitors say that certain experiences no longer feel as unique as they once did. Not because they are bad, but because they are familiar. This is what experts often describe as experience fatigue. Let's break it down in a simple way. What some visitors are noticing: popular attractions can feel very crowded during peak times. Waiting times can be longer than expected. Different locations can start to feel similar after multiple visits, and the overall experience can feel more routine than special. Now, this does not mean Dubai is losing quality. It simply means expectations are rising. People are traveling more, they are comparing more destinations, and they are looking for experiences that feel new and different. So the challenge becomes clear. How do you keep impressing people who have already seen everything? Because in a city built on constant growth and innovation, standing still is not an option. Dubai continues to launch new projects and attractions, but at the same time, it is also competing with itself, trying to make each new experience feel even bigger than the last. And that is not easy. So once again, this is not a collapse. It is a shift in expectation and perception. But now this leads to another important question. If experiences are becoming harder to differentiate, and costs are rising at the same time, what happens when large-scale projects do not meet the level of demand people expected? So now we come to another important part of the picture: large-scale tourism projects. Dubai has invested billions into building world-class attractions, theme parks, entertainment zones, shopping destinations, and unique experiences designed to attract global visitors. And many of these projects are impressive, but not every project performs the same way over time. Some locations stay consistently busy. Others see strong traffic during peak seasons, but become quieter during off-peak periods. This is normal for many global destinations. But in Dubai's case, expectations are much higher, because the city is known for creating record-breaking attractions. So when a project does not meet those expectations, it quickly becomes part of the public discussion. Let's break this down in a simple way. What people are noticing. Some entertainment areas feel less crowded during certain times of the year. Visitor flow can vary depending on the season. and some attractions receive more attention than others. Now, this does not mean these projects are failing. It simply shows that demand is not always consistent. Tourism is influenced by many factors: weather, global travel trends, school holidays, and economic conditions. All of these play a role. But here is the deeper question. Is the city expanding faster than demand can keep up? Or is it building for the future? Because Dubai has always followed a long-term strategy. It invests early and positions itself ahead of global trends. So what may look like underperformance today could be preparation for tomorrow. At the same time, competition is increasing. Other countries are investing in tourism, offering modern attractions, luxury experiences, and often at a lower cost. So visitors now have more choices than ever before, and that changes how demand is distributed. Once again, this is not a simple decline. It is a balance between supply, demand, and global competition. Some projects perform strongly, others take time to reach their full potential, and that is part of how large tourism ecosystems evolve. But this brings us to something even bigger, because not all changes come from within the city itself. Some of the biggest pressures are coming from outside. Now, to understand the full picture, we need to zoom out beyond Dubai itself, because tourism does not exist in isolation. It is deeply connected to global conditions, and in recent years, the world has been going through constant shifts. Economic pressure, changing travel habits, and ongoing uncertainty in different regions have all influenced how and where people choose to travel. Let's break this down in simple terms. What is happening globally? Many countries have experienced rising living costs. Inflation has affected travel budgets for millions of people. Airfare prices have become less predictable, and travelers are now more careful about how they spend. At the same time, global events and geopolitical tensions can also influence travel confidence. Even when people are still willing to travel, they often choose destinations that feel more stable or more affordable based on their situation. Now, here is the important part. This does not target Dubai specifically. These are global patterns affecting many destinations at the same time. But Dubai, being a major international hub, naturally becomes part of this larger shift. So when fewer mid-range tourists travel, or when people shorten their trips, it can sometimes create the impression of change, even if overall demand remains strong. So after looking at all the different angles, tourism, costs, global trends, and lifestyle changes, we arrive at the final question: what happens next for Dubai? And the honest answer is not simple, because this is not a story of collapse, and it is not a story of everything staying the same. It is a story of evolution. Dubai has always moved fast. It has built, expanded, and reinvented itself many times before. And what we are seeing now is another phase of that long process. Some changes are already visible: a stronger focus on premium experiences, more high-value tourism, and continued investment in large-scale development. At the same time, global travelers are also changing. They are comparing more, spending more carefully, and choosing destinations based on value as much as experience. So the future will likely not be about one clear direction. It will be about balance between luxury and accessibility, between growth and sustainability, between global competition and local identity. The real question is not whether Dubai is ending. It is how Dubai will adapt to a world where travel habits are constantly changing. And if history is any indication, Dubai is not a city that stands still for long. It adjusts, it reinvents, and it pushes forward. So instead of asking if this is the end, a better question might be, what version of Dubai are we going to see next? And that is something only time will fully answer.